smooth on this. Got it built pretty quickly. I would say it didn't take more than like 30-ish, maybe 45 minutes at most. I took a couple breaks here or there to do some other stuff, but yeah, it was a pretty smooth experience all the way. The instructions were really clear. I didn't have any difficulty whatsoever putting it together. It does come with this little instruction booklet that I have here, and yeah, I mean, you know, it's pretty well laid out. There's not like crazy number of steps in each step. Like it actually breaks it down. You have little sub builds and things like that, and it actually shows like the grayed out portion of the build to let you know what step you're on. It's really helpful. So yeah, I thought it was really well designed, really well put together. The actual build, like I said, it's pretty cool. Obviously very similar to the Lego buildable figures. You've got the some pretty decent movement on this guy, I would say. Like you can actually, aside from doing the waist movement, you've got shoulder movement. You can go all around, all that good stuff. But you also have a shoulder swivel, like an upper arm swivel, so you can actually swivel the arm, which is really great for different poses. The other neat thing about this is that it actually has like a double joint for the elbow. So as you can see here, there's 2 different points here that you can move this on. So you can actually get a pretty decent bend on that, more than just a 90-degree angle, which is pretty nice. It's got little connection points here should you choose to use those in the future. This was a pretty interesting construction because it has this ball and socket situation. And when you put this shoulder on, it sort of snaps in. But the neat thing about this is that this is on another ball and a socket with an axle. And what's cool about that is that when you've got the arm fully in like this, if you go up like that, it actually pushes the shoulder, pushes the arm out just slightly, so you can get that extra movement there, which I actually kind of like. I thought that was actually pretty cool. Just a nice functionality there. You can always push it back in. And again, both sides you've got that movement. And then you have the wrist movement. And this is just on a little mixel joint, as they're called. So, you know, typical mixel joint movement, nothing crazy there.
Now I should mention that the hands do come on this plastic runner. If you've ever built Gunpla before, then you're probably familiar with this, but you will need some side cutters to cut them out of the plastic runner.
The head is on a double ball joint, so the neck goes down, and it actually has some movement back and forth. A little bit of left and right wiggle, but not much. But then the bottom of the head, look where the neck is, you've got another ball joint, so you can actually move it around. Get some nice tilt in there. They did the clearances pretty well, so you can get the chin kind of tucked into the top of his hood there, or his coat, and you got a nice little look there. But yeah, I mean, the ears and everything, the hair I was really impressed by. Like, they did a really good job, I thought, on it, designing that. And yeah, the rest of it, you've got legs, so you've got your upper hip connection here. You know, typical movement here. You can go out to the side, go forward and back. Forward, it kind of stops here, so it kind of goes up about this much. You can kind of get it to go a little bit higher, but you got to push that leg out in order to make that do that. And that's pretty standard on most buildable figures. They're just not, the clearance is not high enough to allow it to get past that with the piece on there. The movement for the knee, you've got this 90 degree, which is pretty standard on these guys. And this is helpful to make sure it stays up. There's not a lot of friction here, so it can bend quite easily. So keeping it at a 90 will keep it locked in the position so the character doesn't fall over or fall down when you try to pose it in that way. They even got Yuji's high water pants, right? So his socks are definitely showing before you get to the boot that they have here. And this is pretty cool. You got some decent movement here. You can go get some swivel, little bit of forward backward action. If you need to, you can kind of pull out, because this is also another ball axle. So you can pull out just a little bit to get a little bit more movement there, right? I thought that was pretty good. Let's see, what else? I think that's pretty much all the articulation that I saw. Like I said, it does have the swivel, does go fully around 360 degrees. There's nothing to stop him from doing that. This is the back of the figure. That's what it looks like. Mostly finished off, you know, some exposed anti-studs here. And then obviously the studs here on the arms, both in the front and the back. But yeah, I mean, pretty cool figure, right? You know, and they apparently this company makes a couple more as well. They have one, I think, on the box here they talk about, and they have the other version of him, Sukuna, basically from Jujutsu Kaisen, and also they have the Chainsaw Man figure. So you know, again, new company, at least to me. I've never heard of them before, but I was pretty impressed by the fact that they've got these multiple figures. That was pretty cool. And yeah, if anybody's interested, I'll toss a link in the description.